Okay, well, so far in this course, we've primarily explored Vipassana, a practice rooted in the Theravada, the oldest tradition in Buddhism, which is known for its gradual and dualistic approach to awakening. Today, though, we're going to shift toward a non-dual, direct approach to awakening. We'll primarily draw on the wisdom of Mahamudra and Dzogchen, Buddhist lineages that emerged in northern India and Tibet. And we'll integrate these approaches with insights from neuroscience and psychology to make them more accessible to the modern mind. The radical premise of non-dual teachings is that we don't need to get anywhere. We don't need to seek anything. We're already perfectly awake. So the problem isn't a lack of awakened awareness. It's that we overlook it. Our attention collapses into thought, and we mistake thoughts for our identity. We forget the deeper awareness that's always present. Okay, well, let's maybe take a moment to flesh out what I mean by non-duality. So first, I don't merely mean oneness or emptiness or no self. Of course, this dimension of spiritual life is certainly important, since it is the dimension that allows us to transcend our small, separate sense of self. But to stop here is to leave out the intimate. The poor little ego gets left behind, and all its joys and sorrows, its stories, its tragedies, its triumphs. So again, emptiness or selflessness is only one side of the coin. When I use non-duality, I mean the fullness of reality, which is both the relative or relational world together with the ultimate, the infinite, the unborn. It's recognizing and embodying both the wave and the ocean, the self and the no self. Non-duality, then, is the great paradox of form and emptiness, of the intimate and the infinite. So the relative and the ultimate can't be separated, but they also can't be reduced to one. They exist together simultaneously. They're not two. Awakening is the direct knowing and embodiment of these two dimensions of reality. It is the inseparable intersection of compassion and wisdom, of the tender human heart and the unbound mind. As Sri Maharaj said, "When I look inside and see that I am nothing, that is wisdom. When I look outside and see that I am everything, that is love. And between these two, my life flows." So, with the non-dual approach, the practice is to recognize your true nature in the beginning and to keep coming back to it again and again. It's like ringing a bell. You ring the bell and hear the sound. That is, you recognize your non-dual nature. And once the sound fades, or you collapse into thought, you ring it again. Now, there are many ways to recognize your true nature. In Advaita, for example, which is a non-dual tradition in Hinduism, the approach is self-inquiry. Who am I? Am I my body? Am I my cells? Am I my feelings? Am I my thoughts? Etc. the more you try to identify who or what the self is, the more illusory it will become. In Maha Mudra and Dzogchen, non-dual approaches that evolved out of the Buddha's teachings, a teacher gives the student pointing out instructions, which are meant to cut through the illusion of self. And then once we glimpse the awakened mind, our practice, again, is simply to remember to return again and again. And this is the approach we'll primarily take. So for the last few minutes, let's see if we can just get a taste of this non-dual presence. So go ahead and settle into a comfortable upright position and just allow the body and mind to relax. Calm, calm, calming. And just begin by feeling the location of the one who's listening, the thinker who's trying to understand what the hell I've been talking about. Just being with and feeling into this habit pattern of thought, going to objects. And just thank it for working so hard to solve your problems and to live this life. And just notice how awareness can let go or unhook and move from thinking to seeing. Just seeing. Awareness and seeing. Not focused on what you're seeing or who is seeing. Just seeing. And just as awareness unhooked from thinking and moved to seeing, feel as if awareness can move itself, let go of seeing, and move to hearing. Just hearing. Not focused on what you're hearing or who's hearing. Just hearing. Awareness and hearing. And just as awareness moved from seeing to hearing, notice that awareness can let go of hearing and open to the space in the room. Interested not so much of everything in or moving through the space, but interested in the boundless space itself. Now, as awareness opens outward and unbounded, just notice the feeling of space being awake. Opening to this pure, contentless, boundless timeless awareness that is awake and alert without the need to make effort. Just unplugging for a moment, marinating in pure, effortless, contentless awareness. And now, as you're aware from and as this open, spacious, and pervasive awareness, open to the first movement, vibration, or pattern of energy. Become curious whether it's moving through awareness or whether it's arising as awareness. Seamlessly connected. So there's not two experiences, but rather an interconnected, dynamic field of knowing and aliveness. The intimate and the infinite. Just embodying this alert, alive, interconnected presence that's everywhere, nowhere, here, equally inside and out. Just noticing any sense of unity, love, joy, compassion. That sense of welcoming, acceptance, that feeling of home. May you truly be at peace. Until next time.